What's up, everybody? Welcome in. Missed you guys. Hope everybody's doing good. Hope everybody had a good holiday. A little late getting on here, but doesn't seem like we missed too much. What an NFL weekend we had. Absolutely monster. I don't know about you guys, but I was locked into NFL all weekend long. My family hated it, except for the family members that wanted to watch football too. They loved it because I was their excuse. I was like, "Hey man, this is my job. I don't know what you want from me. I don't know what to tell you, but this is work for me here. You know what I mean?" um, Particularly because the Broncos had a couple big games and then a bunch of news happened. So, which we will get to. We'll get to that. We'll get to everything. 3rd and 10 though, and they pick it up. Who is that? Khalif Raymond. Um, a dismal day when it comes to the college football games that we're on, at least in my opinion. Lions picking up a little bit of steam here. Nice little crossing route. Like I said, we were a little late getting here. Cooked some stuffed peppers, and they took a little bit longer than I expected them to. So a little late getting on here, but no worries. We here. And like I said, I missed you guys. All right, 1st and 10. They're on the other side of the field now, and you're in that field goal red zone area. You're kind of a field goal line. If you let them pick up another first down, they definitely are in field goal range. They might be with that run right there. Let me know what your bets are. If you got anything down on this one, I'd love to hear it. I've got Lions plus 4.5, and I will almost certainly middle it if possible. Um, would have to be a commercial break because I am watching this on the NFL app. Um, but I would definitely look for it at least. That's not true, Troy. Troy talking about how he's just as effective in the run game as the pass game. That's very strange. It's a weird place to use a timeout. Gonna have to get out of here a little early tonight. Not gonna be able to do the full game, but if I have to get out of here a little bit early, it's gonna be the very, very end. At least I hope so. We'll see. Oof. And he almost got stuffed. So the wham block, the trap block that was coming across. Little bit late there. Montgomery able to just pause and give him enough time. I don't know why it was late. I didn't get to see, but oh, from this high red, I kind of would have liked a shot there on first down. Maybe they had one called and they just had to check it to a running back, little running back swing. But so now you're 2nd and 10. Of course, if you're just getting in, let me know what you got money on. Over under. If you got a single game parlay that's not, 14 legs. I'm looking at my cousins when I say that. um, you can let me know what if you got a couple leg parlay, what you're looking for. Damn. Can the Cowboys hold here for a field goal? Yeah, what? Yeah, and his knee went down. Did they just make a safe call there? Like, what? Well, you might back him up. If it's a 10-yard penalty, you might back him up. That's interesting. So it is a hold. If you back him up 10 yards from there, it makes it high 50s for a field goal. Oh, it's illegal blocking the back. I think that's only 5 yards. So then you take the fourth down and let him kick it. If it was a 10-yard penalty, I might take it. No, they're saying it was a 10-yard penalty. Lions go up there. Like I said, I got Lions plus 4.5. So I'm going to head in and see what the line is now. I would be looking to middle this. I do think this ends up being about a field goal game. I want to say I like the Lions to win, but it's been tough for me. But I definitely like the Lions with the 4.5. So right now, it's still, I only bought you a point. Cowboys minus 3.5. So we'll sit on it for a little while, see what it turns into. What a weekend last weekend for NFL football. And even the first game this weekend, everything matters so much right now. It's a ton of fun. I love it. I'm kind of bummed that the Broncos lost because I just kind of wanted them to be in it until the very end. Um, so our first game this weekend was Jets and Cleveland, and I just listen. I think the Jets are not very good, and I just want to point out that that's a defense that said they were 85 Bears good or 2000s Ravens good, and they gave up 37 to Joe Flacco. So, but that being said, I mean, I just don't know what to think of this Cleveland team. There's no doubt it's a great coaching job, but even if, like, even a great coaching job doesn't turn into this. Flacco over 300 yards in like four straight games, 13 touchdown passes or something like that. And he's been known to get on a heater. That's how they won their Super Bowl in Baltimore. Um, but yeah, man, just absolutely wild stuff. We'll talk more about Cleveland going up. That game was really important, actually, for the rest of the NFL season. But Cowboys, I think, important for their offense to establish a little bit of dominance here. Yes, just the first drive of the game, but Lions drove down and scored. I think it's big for your best unit to come on the field and do what they do, you know? Don't they normally play terribly in their blues, too? All right, first and 10 here. Taking a shot to start. A little check down. But a good positive play on first down. For an offense that hasn't been overwhelming the last couple weeks, they were awful against Buffalo, of course. And then still not great last week against Miami. Couple drives ended in turnovers, including that fumble at the goal line, but nice run D. Hutchinson, that's beautiful. That's why you're the number one overall pick. He's not my favorite like person, but he's a good player. Heck of a job. Watching the replay, heck of a job by Hutchinson. Now he's gonna get burned on that though. He can't do that all night. Because if they see him shooting that gap inside when the run is away from him, they're going to pull it and run around his corner and go to China. You know what I mean? Third and four. There you go. CD Lamb with a nice cut. CD Lamb made that thing happen. I mean, they had the first down anyway, but so first and 10, and they're all the way. You're right in that field goal line here for Detroit. If you want to stop them from getting a field goal, you can't let them get a first down. And they just picked up enough yards, 6 yards on first down, which might get them into field goal range there. So you're second and four now. Taking a shot. This is what I wanted the Lions to do. Take a shot. Just take that top off. Just let them know. You know what I mean? I think a good answer by the Cowboys here, even if it ends up in just a field goal. It's so weird when they're like Monday Night Football on Saturday. Like, I get you don't want to do a full rebrand and everything, but second time Hutchinson almost offside. Oh, what a pick! Melifonwu. hunting he was. That is a smart play. He sees Dak in a scramble drill here and knows I'm going to bait him, make him feel like his guy's open here, and then just jump it. What a job. Huge, huge stop. And Dak better watch out, man. So the MVP race, I think, is very interesting. Everybody who's a favorite all of a sudden just bites it a little bit. And I think Dak is one of those guys you could have talked yourself into a couple weeks ago, but after a bad game versus the Bills and a bad game versus the Dolphins, especially if he's got another one in him tonight, I just don't think people can vote for him. I think the MVP is still wide open, and we'll talk more about Lamar and Allen and McCaffrey. I think Purdy's out of it now, but it's a super interesting race. Back to that Cleveland New York game. So the reason it felt so important was because Cleveland isn't out of it for the one seed, and they're not out of it to win the AFC North. And so even though Baltimore's been playing great, to continue to put pressure on Baltimore, um, I think it matters. This game between Baltimore and Miami is huge. And if the Bills are applying pressure on the AFC East side and the Browns are applying pressure on the AFC North side, it just adds so much more to that game. Milkman, welcome back, my man. Hey, Rob, what up? Happy New Year. Hopefully you had a good Christmas. I know we're on the NFL today, but what did you think about the Florida State Georgia game? I didn't even watch the end of it. I watched Georgia go up 28-3 and then turned it off. So what was the final score? 63-6. Yeah, I mean, I would have told you Georgia by a lot. They didn't have as many opt-outs. And listen, I don't think that's indicative of the kind of team that Florida State had. I think I saw a tweet that was like they're without their top two quarterbacks, top running back, top two wide receivers, top edge rusher, and somebody else. You know, so I don't think that's indicative of the kind of team that Florida State was. Um, I don't think if they make the playoff, they get trounced like that. Um, I think Georgia, if they make the playoffs, maybe trounces somebody like that. But it was a real tough call for the Final Four in terms of the college football playoff. And the thing that it just makes me think about is they've got to figure out how to make these bowl games matter again. And I don't think they can. And if they can't, then maybe you don't play them. Because that's embarrassing. The Cotton Bowl was damn near unwatchable last night. And Missouri cared too. You know what I mean? So it's just, I don't know. It's not good football. God, what a job by Melifonwu on that. Excellent. I do love Amon Ross St. Brown. He's one of my favorites. Um, Dude, I don't think you can say that, Milkman. Like, I know I have been without your trolling for a week, and I know that's what you're doing here. But they had like their 10 best players opt out, and I agree. I'm fine with them not getting into the playoff. I really am. I'm not one of those guys. But I also don't think this is what it would have looked like if they did get into the playoff. So I think to say that is misconception of what it really was. Milk, you got any money on tonight? Okay, I'm at 6 minutes of the first quarter, and Lions right on the edge of field goal range again here. Great play by Micah Parsons. Push him back out of field goal range. Big third down here. Because if you get a stop for almost no yards, um, you can probably hold them without even a field goal attempt. Dan Campbell will probably punt it. Nah, because after Christmas I'm broke, kind of. Yeah, I feel that. There you go. And that'll force a punt for sure. Loss of 8 on the sack. Big, big play by the Cowboys D there. This thing could have gotten out of hand real quick. I thought that was more Lawrence than Armstrong, but it looks like it was kind of both of them. Excellent job by the Cowboys defense to not give up points there. All right. So big game on Thursday night. Cleveland wins to keep pressure on the Baltimore Ravens, and it just makes that game tomorrow at 1 Eastern absolutely massive. I mean, the loser of that game is going to have to seriously worry about how they're going to win their division. The winner not only locks in their division, but also probably the 1 seed. Um, just kind of crazy how that all is working out. Um, Baltimore likely either to be the 1, 2, or 5 seed. Miami either the 1, 2, or the 6 seed. There's a way that they can get to the 5, but less likely. But so both those teams with the Bills and the Browns interchangeable amongst the 1, 2, 5, and 6 seeds. And like, it can't be overstated enough how important landing in that 1 seed is. But even landing in the 2 seed, um, I mean, if you get through your first round game as the 2 seed and you have to play the Chiefs in the second round, you're doing it at your house. You know what I mean? Like, that is just a huge, huge difference than having to go to Arrowhead. So, not that Patrick Mahomes can't beat you in your dojo, but I just would much rather that than having to go to Arrowhead. So, a lot on the line this weekend, and I love that the Browns won to keep the pressure on the Ravens, make sure that they know how much this game means. Milkman says the only good thing about the next few weeks for the NFC is the Niners win that conference. You really gonna come in here all blustery after last week, bro? I just, I mean, at least you're going down firing. 2 weeks ago you came in here and said the Eagles were the team that couldn't win when it mattered, and here you go with a battle of the 1 seeds in each of the conferences, and your fellas just no showed, and not just Purdy either. I mean, everybody no showed. Nice play. The defenses came to play tonight. Awful quiet, Milk. Awful quiet. Ooh. God, Dak almost hit that seam route. And with the two defenders running into each other, could have gone for 6. T Rex, what's up? Let's go Lions. You got money on it? I thought you were. Are you Lions, T Rex? I thought you were Vikings. Oh no, maybe that's mental health guy is Vikings. Either way, welcome in. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. Who is open for a touchdown? Unbelievable. Wow. What a change of events. Oh my God. 92-yard touchdown pass. Show me that there was no holding on that play because I don't believe it. Yeah, T Rex. That's right. What a pass. Whew. Why aren't you showing what happened again? Whew. 7-3, and for a Lions team that felt great about how this started, all of a sudden you're down. Yeah, there's a little bit of holding, but nothing I'd call. Okay. Wow. What a turn of events. All right, Milkman said, "Look, we got a first round bye, all right, and now we just got to check to see the Dolphins can beat the ass out of the Ravens, and then maybe the Browns take the second seed in the AFC, and Ravens lose to the Chiefs in the wild card round." I listen. I wouldn't be surprised if the Ravens lose in the playoffs, but that defense is legit. Um, I think it's just one of those things that you never seen them do it before, but they've always ran into juggernauts. You know what I mean? And this year they are the juggernaut. So the Baltimore is going to be real iffy for me in the playoffs. If they get a bad matchup, like I'm the kind of guy who will bet against them very easily in the divisional round. Um, I don't know who Rod is. I don't want to hear either Rod after your Bills barely got the win against the Chargers. But the difference is, Milk, that they did in fact win and didn't turn the ball over 5 times and lose. So that is one major difference between what our teams did last weekend. So uh, Bills have a focus problem. There's just no other way to state it. Um, they've got a focus problem, and that's why the game this week worries me a whole lot more than a game next week. Uh, which is the next game we need to get to anyway. So let's get to it. Bills and Patriots. Uh, Sunday tomorrow at 11 a.m. Um, and then they finish the season at Miami. So this Baltimore Miami game that's going to happen, and we'll talk about it. We haven't yet. But if Miami loses that game, Baltimore uh, goes on and beats the Dolphins. The Bills Dolphins game next week is for the AFC East title. Um, so Bills at home versus New England, a team that's already beat them this year. All signs point to they're going to show up and just hammer this New England team. And every time we feel that way about the Bills, they squeak out a 2-point win against Easton Stick and the Chargers. So they better get their focus problem figured out this week. If you sleep on the Patriots and lose to them again and blow an opportunity, I mean, I'm going to be furious. Conversely, and we'll talk a little bit more about the MVP as we go through here. But conversely, if Josh Allen just paints the Patriots' asses red and goes down to South Beach and puts another 40 on Miami and wins the AFC East after being 6-6 and goes 11-6 and wins the AFC East, I think, and in turn wins the 2 seed, which of course would also have to include a Miami loss to Baltimore. But if the Bills do that and Josh Allen goes nuclear these last couple weeks, I think he's the MVP. I really do. I think he wins it, and I think he wins it going away. He has, I think, the best numbers and no other MVP candidate on his team. Um, no cap at all, bro. No cap at all. Now listen, I put out there what that means to me, right? He's gonna have a big week this week, have a big week next week, get a favor from the Baltimore Ravens, and win the AFC East and the 2 seed. But if he does that, I think if you look across the NFL right now, he is the most viable MVP candidate statistically. And I would love for you to try to argue anybody out else. Because we are talking about most valuable player. So, I like, you can't spew all that shit that you spew about Stephon Diggs and still not, and also say that Josh Allen isn't incredibly valuable to his team. Lions trying to stay ahead of the sticks and then just get a false start penalty. Brutal. Laporta has looked great. Keith Jackson. Wrong Keith Jackson, but still. Oh, wow. What happened? You just talking all that good stuff about Laporta, and there you go. Dante Fowler eats him alive. Totally whiffed on him. And now, for as much as I kept cautioning people about the Cowboys being in trouble, if you're the Lions, you're in a little bit of trouble here. Big moment in the game, you punt it out of the end zone. Asking your D to step up here. Need to get a stop. So back to Bills Patriots as we're in commercial break and start running down the stack of games here. Bills should be huge favorites in this game. Um, New England just declared out like three more players, including Jabril Peppers. Um, it's just not much left on that New England side. But every time we talk about the Bills being runaway favorites, they just decide not to show up. So, Milk, you should not be talking about choke jobs after what the Niners did last weekend. No, I wouldn't say that they choke. I would just say that they are lacking the focus that you need this year to get big wins against bad teams. Um, they had it at the beginning of the year and haven't had it since. And so what you end up with is a 2-point win versus the Chargers. But I think they're very capable of winning this game. I think they can see what's within reach. And we're going to talk about the Baltimore game, but I imagine they'll be keeping an eye on it on that sideline as we go through. I look at it like this: every team had a bad loss to bad teams. Yeah, I mean the league does not have a dominant team this year. Really don't. There's no 13 and 4s or 14 and 3s or 15 and 2s. There's nobody who really mopped the floor with everybody this year. So it's going to be interesting. Next game, Atlanta versus Chicago. I think Chicago has been officially eliminated. I think. Let's look at that. They have not. They're not officially eliminated, but they are at the bottom of the heap. Falcons, of course, live for the NFC South, but Tampa Bay can win that with a win this weekend. And then also, they're only a game out of the 7th seed and the 6th seed, for that matter. But just lots of teams to crawl over there. Not a good start for the Cowboys offense. Yeah, I was, I think, saying that before you hopped on, Milk. The Browns could be the Trojan horse this year is absolutely right. Um, Joe Flacco's been known to get on heaters. That's how they won their Super Bowl, but I just don't know what to do with that team. I mean, it's good coaching, no doubt. Um, but great play by the linebacker there. 2nd and 14, looking to get half of it. But this game kind of settling in here a little bit. And it feels like it's been real offensive, and yet you look and it's 7-3, and it's kind of settling into this little battle we got here. Good coverage there. Better throw. Ferguson had a chance, but good coverage. Big 3rd down. 3rd and 14. And they're going to just run it. I hate the give up call there. I really do. You just had Dak drill a seam route. Well, it was a post, but a post down the seam, for 20 yards that was there, and then you're just going to give up on 3rd down? Stupid. And with that, we will go to the quarter break, which we will take with them. We will catch you guys for the 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. All right, buddy, welcome back. We kick off the second quarter here. Good return. I don't know what you're dancing for. They got the ball on the 42-yard line. Oh, see, now my app is behind again. This is crazy. Amon-Ra St. Brown. And right back into field goal range. Oof. Oh, and then did he pick it? He did. What an awful decision. Yeah, all the way around, that was a bad decision. Damn. Not great if you're a Lions fan. Um, so, like we were talking about with that turnover for the Lions, you stack a couple scores on top of each other here, and it's going to feel a little insurmountable here. So, excellent job on the turnover. Way to read it. I feel like Goff was a little bit snowed under and decided to throw it anyway. Tough call. Yeah. So, I mean, we don't really need to talk much about Atlanta, Chicago, but another 1 o'clock game. Next one is Vegas and Indy. This one big. Indy sitting in the 7th spot, and Vegas still technically alive, not only to get into the playoffs, but also to win that division. I don't think it's likely that the Chiefs lose their final 2 games, but it is possible that both the Broncos and the Raiders could catch the Chiefs and win the AFC West. Everybody would have to end up 9-8, of course. So the Chiefs would have to lose out, but Colts also playing in that game. They are the 7th seed right now and in a crowded race in 2 ways. AFC South is wide open. Everybody is 8-7 right now. Jaguars owning the tiebreakers. Head-to-head win percentage is the reason that Jacksonville has the lead there. Um, Colts also win the 7th seed. They get the divisional tiebreak over Houston. Pittsburgh gets the divisional tiebreak over Cincy. And um, I don't know why they have the head-to-head win percentage over Pittsburgh as well. So Indy currently in the 7th spot. Um, Big game this weekend, Vegas and Indy, because it can affect 4 different playoff spots. Dak finally hits a big one. I say that he hit a 92-yard pass. Felt like every time he tried to get a chunk play, he struggled. Oh, we'll definitely spend some time talking about that milk. Second and 5, and you're in field goal range already, so nothing stupid here. Ooh, what a hit. Whew. Cam Sutton absolutely brought the hit stick on this one. In the red zone now. Gotta hold him to 3 if you ask me. Oh, did they get him? Sure did. So it'll be second and 2. Excellent run by Pollard. Real nice cut. First and goal. Unless we get some funny business going on here. Get fired up, Lions. Gotta hold them to 3 here. Oh, did he fumble that out of the end zone? That's a touchback. Yeah? Oh my God. This game is crazy so far. So Lamb catches that ball and turns upfield. I felt like it was for sure a catch. He fumbles the ball, goes out of the end zone. And if a fumbled ball goes out of the back of the end zone, it is the other team's ball at the 20-yard line. It's a touchback. One, two, football move. Yeah, dude, that's it. That's a fumble. Wow. What a start to this game. Absolutely nuts. Yeah, I mean, Troy's saying it now. We were talking about it before they fumbled the ball. If they score here, it just changes the feel of this game. Man, wow, what a change. Go score, Detroit. Gibbs. Dude is electric. Oh, Laporta had it. Oh, right through his hands. Samuel, the former tight end, doesn't like it. Wow. You get it to 2nd and 2, you call 2 pass plays and punt. I'm normally an aggressive guy. Y'all know that. Man, I don't know that that's how I would have handled that. Oh, he's got him. Oh, what a call. What a call by Dan Campbell. What a call by Dan Campbell. Your punter throwing it? Who threw it? Nope, by the up back. Wow. Man, you are inside your own territory and you throw a go route on a fake punt? Get out. That is crazy. All right, so 1st and 10, field goal line. Hey, look what happens when you run the ball. I'm on St. Brown around the end. That is absolutely bonkers. What a call. I love it. 1st and 10, run the ball again. Look at the hole. 10 yards, first down. This is what the Cowboys can't handle is running the football. Why are you getting away from it? It's not even like you've been running into brick walls. I mean, there's been a couple plays they made, but run the ball at them. Just lopping off 10-yard chunks. 1st and goal from the 2. Yeah, Gibbs can fly, man. Dude can hit a hole. 1st and goal from the 2. Nice play by the Cowboys. 2nd and goal from the 5. You're all right. I don't know what play he killed, but wrong call. Oof. I feel better if I'm the Lions running it from the 5 than I do running it from the 2. I would have called 2 run plays from the 5-yard line against this defense. Look how spread out they are. Run the ball. I like the call. Stay out there. Nice job by the safety. Shut up. That was a guard that he just put on his back. '73 gets put on his rear end by a safety. What? I mean, how intense has this game turned out to be? Between two teams are already clinched a playoff spot, but still plenty on the line. Nobody cares what you would do, Troy. Oh, oh, man. Wow. What a. I mean, this game is just absolutely bonkers. I love it. All right, what's next? Los Angeles Rams at New York Giants. Another one that matters in a playoff race. The Rams, I think, are a fun team, a dangerous team, a team I'm going to take plus the points in the wild card week. You just get that feeling with Matt Stafford. They're going to be like 10-5 this year or something like that. Have an important game coming up against your uh, San Francisco 49ers next week. And just have to take care of business. Now, this is West going East, and that always scares me for an 11 o'clock start, a 1 o'clock start. Um, but this team has been different since Matt Stafford got back, and this is their opportunity. They win that one, and we'll see if the Niners need to even win. Oh, they're going to need to win because there won't be a game up. But could set up a real interesting Week 18 game between the Niners and the. To be honest with you, Milk, I didn't think the Niners were going to need it. So that's why this whole time I had been saying Rams might get a free win there. But if the Niners need it for first overall seed and the Rams need it for the playoffs, that's going to be a hell of a game. That one's going to be fun. Have to be a 425 start, probably. It's going to be really interesting how they figure out how to play all these games so nobody knows what happens before they play their game that last week. It's going to be interesting. Pretty sure the Bills will be on like a Saturday night if they are in the situation to clinch the AFC East with a win. Giants have been technically eliminated with their loss last week. Rams in the sixth seed right now, but tied with Seattle, who's in the seventh seed, and just one game up on four teams who are out of the playoffs right now. So, huge game. I mean, can't say enough. Yeah, I mean, whiffs is an understatement. You got worked. So much offense in this game, and just 7-3. Turnover on downs, fumble out of the back of the end zone, interception. Been just crazy. Don't love CD going out of bounds like that there. You had at least another 2 yards, if not a first down, if you really man up there. Dak's starting to feel himself a little bit here. Last man. If Sutton doesn't trip him up there, he squirts out the other side and he's off to the races. But as is, 2nd and 9. Damn. That's a drive killer right there. Nice, real nice rush by Hutchinson there. 3rd and 17 now. This one's going to be a give up play, just like the last one. 2-minute warning. Wow. Cowboys fans going to be bitching about that for weeks. All right, we'll head to the 2 minute warning after all that. Arizona at Philadelphia, your next 1 o'clock game. Philadelphia back in it for the 1 seed because the Niners choked on Christmas Day. Uh, so Philly, and I think it'll be if they're in a 3-way tie. So in a 3-way tie, the head-to-head doesn't necessarily matter. But the Niners have a 9-1 conference record. They would need to lose each of their next 2 games, and that would knock them out of the 1 seed anyway. So San Francisco's got the tiebreaker as long as they finish tied. And then Philly wins the tiebreak over Detroit on strength of victory. Um, like I said, where those games are played deep in the playoffs, I think really matters. Um, so Philly hosting Arizona, it's one of those games you just got to take care of business. You know what I mean? Um, also, let's look at this. I feel like we've got a little bit of a race here for the number 1 overall pick. Arizona 3-12, Carolina 2-13. You know, don't fall asleep on that, I guess is what I want to say to you. Some strange things have happened the past couple of years with that number 1 overall pick. Um, so Philly looking like it'll probably get a victory at home tomorrow. Um, New Orleans at Tampa. Big game in the NFC South. Tampa been surging. Everybody knows I'm a Baker Mayfield fan. He has been playing out of his mind to the point where he's going to get another contract as a starter, if not in Tampa, somewhere else. But Tampa can win the NFC South with a win against New Orleans, is my understanding of it. 3rd and 22, just a check down from the Cowboys. And I was going to say, yeah, Lions should burn a timeout here, and they do. Nobody cares about Troy Aikman or Jimmy Johnson. Let me just make that crystal clear. So Tampa with a chance to clinch the NFC South this week, I believe, with a victory over New Orleans. Um, Listen, I think the biggest problem that Tampa Bay has is Todd Bowles. Like the biggest problem they have is their head coach. They got Super Bowl worthy talent on that team. We know that. Everybody knows that. What a return. Huge. So they're on the 42. Minute 42 timeouts. Easy to get in the field goal range here. You got to be thinking touchdown. Yeah, that Tampa Bay team, like I said, I think they have a lot of talent. Seems like it's come together towards the end of the year here. Baker Mayfield been playing out of his mind. Let's see, they're on a 4-game heater. Now listen, are the teams they're playing the best? No. Their wins are against Carolina, Atlanta, Green Bay, and Jacksonville. But winning the NFL is a win, man. And I went from feeling like the NFC South was going to have a team under 500 who I was just going to write off to, depending on the matchup, I don't hate Tampa Bay in the playoffs here. I really don't. And you could have a 10-win NFC South champion, and I just wouldn't hate it as much as I thought I was going to. Um, Baker Mayfield on the season, 64 completion percentage, 3,598 yards, 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Average numbers, but last 4 games have been, I shouldn't say last 4, I should say last 2 when I say it. 74% completion percentage, 78% completion percentage. 6 touchdowns, no picks. QBR around 85. Passer rating 130-ish. I mean, he's been playing really, really well. That game in Green Bay was technically perfect in terms of passer rating. So, played his way into another contract, no doubt. And if he doesn't get it from with how bad the quarterback play has been this year, I think there's going to be a lot of teams looking to make changes. If he doesn't get that deal from Tampa, he will get a starter deal from somebody. 30 mil, something like that. Maybe you go 330, something in that vein. Nobody cares about Jimmy Johnson going into the Ring of Fame. Good Lord. Oh, don't go down. Well, if you're going to stay in bounds, then you should have just gone down. Tons of time to get a field goal. Like I said, I think you got to be thinking touchdown here. Yeah, so all that was just a big waste of time, if you ask me. But they look like maybe they're playing for a field goal here. 3rd and 1. Maybe they're trying to make sure the Cowboys don't double up here. I still don't like it, though. Yeah, Lawrence been playing. I mean, he's been just knifing gaps all night. What are we doing? All right, well, let's see. 11 o'clock game. San Francisco at Washington. Again, West going east. 11 o'clock. Washington seems like they've kind of folded tents. Jacoby Brissett going to start that game. Why would be my question to you. Why would you have him start that game? But Jacoby Brissett going to start that game. Um, San Francisco should have a get right game here. Niners should just do a little bit of work here. 40 seconds, one timeout about what you're going to be at here. I would put money on McCarthy going conservative here. Hutchinson does a good job closing out the half with a little sack here. That should do it. All right, plenty more games to talk about. We got the NFL MVP to talk about as well, and some more playoff races as well as the afternoon games and a couple more 1 o'clock starts for tomorrow. So we will do that all in the second half, as always. Go get yourself a drink, a snack, go to the bathroom, and we will see you back here for the third quarter. Come back and join us. We will see you in a few minutes on the other side. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Kickoff for the second half just happened. And after a wild start to the game, a lot of offense, and yet 10 points on the board. So, kind of crazy. But it was just a wild first half. We'll see if it settles in here a little bit in the second half or if those fireworks finally go off. Excuse me. All of a sudden, I have the hiccups. Could be a second round playoff matchup here. That would require probably Dallas to win the NFC East. Um, but I think it's more likely that the Eagles do. And so these teams will likely miss each other unless it's a NFC championship matchup. Get the penalty yardage back. So that'll be what? Third and 8. And I think important, man, an important drive here for the Cowboys. Like I said, not a lot of points, a lot of offense, but not a lot of points. So if you hand it right back to the Lions, I don't know. I mean, that's why you defer right there. There you go, first down. They don't have an answer for CeeDee Lamb, which isn't surprising. Not a lot of teams do, but good play by the Lions D. Who was that? Oh, Aiden Hutchinson blowing it up. Sutton being there, but Hutchinson really blew that up. One, two, three blockers looking at him, and he still gets there. Oh, Pollard dropped it. And I don't know if Irvin holds on to his shoelaces there, but he might be off to the races. Third and 12. Good coverage. Who was that? Branch? Excellent coverage. And I said they haven't had an answer for CeeDee Lamb yet. There's the first time they did tonight. Nice job by Branch. All right, well, at least you didn't give the ball right to him. Okay, punt. For a 7-3 game, it's been really entertaining. I'll tell you that much. All right, let's keep running down our 1 o'clock games here. Carolina at Jacksonville. We talked a little bit about the AFC South and how that affects not only the AFC South but the wild card. One team is going to hit its head. You know, the the wild card AFC South team is only going to be so good because if they get too good, they're going to win the AFC South. So Jacksonville been on a skid. CJ Beathard going to start this game. Trevor Lawrence, I think, finally admitted to himself that he is not healthy enough to play. Uh, but they're disguising it as, I think, concussion protocol. Um, Dude needs a week. And if you have to go into the last week of the season with him a little bit healthier, saying winning in, then you have to do that. But as much as they'd like to win this game, and they can win this game with CJ Beathard, um, I think either way, next week's a win and in for them. So it'll be interesting. Um, like I said, a lot of games that have some kind of impact on the playoff race. So let's see. I want to go into the playoff machine here. So if the Jags beat the Titans, they're at 94% to get in. Just if they beat the Titans. So, and if they lose to the Panthers and beat the Titans, they're still at 80% to get in. So you look at it and say, take this week and, next week, if you lose at the Titans, uh, but you had beat the Panthers, you're only 82% to get in. So take the 90% shot, give him a week off, see if he's more healthy. And I think it's, an interesting way to go at it. But, I mean, by the numbers, it's technically right. You know what I mean? Hey, look, Lions, run the ball. How about that? Hey, look, Lions, run the ball. How about that? And they're already into Cowboy territory. So with next week's game having so much more leverage on the playoff race, you rest them this week, play them next week, and you hope if you get some help along the way, maybe you can rest them both and back your way into the playoffs, and then show up in the playoffs with a healthy Trevor Lawrence. You know what I mean? Lions running it for 5, 6 yards a clip here. I mean, come on. How did the Bills beat him? How did the Niners beat him? God, I'd love to see the Lions as the 1 seed and have Milk have to show his face. Just making sure you're still there, Milk. It's 100% could happen. Dude, the Rams might need that game, and I don't think they're pushovers. You better be ready. You're also going west to east here. I think you can beat Washington even though, but you and the Rams both going west to east here. And I love that for Laporta too. Getting him a catch. Had a couple drops tonight, couple bad plays. Just get him a nice easy one. A reminder: I'm gonna have to get out of here a little bit before the game ends. Um, I'm sure that I'm sure you guys are gonna be broken up about that. See, and the Lions are just dominating them at the point of attack. Like, run the ball, man. I am not a run the ball guy, and the Cowboys can't stop the run. And that'll happen to you. I am still on my run the ball line, but Micah Parsons is just that dude, and every once in a while he'll just make a play like that. Second and 13, I'm still running here. Been picking up 7 yards a clip. They throw it. Ah, nice. Reynolds up for a first down. Okay, you got down to the 5 yard line. Don't get away what got you here. Run the ball. Good run. I know 3 yards, it doesn't feel like a good run, but it's a good run. There you go. And into the end zone for the Lions to retake the lead. So we had a lot of fireworks and 10 points in the first half. Instead, they decide to grind it and pound the ball, and they got 7 points in the second half. And man, did they eat that quarter. 4 minutes and 30 seconds left in the quarter. And credit to the Lions defense, man. They've been on the ropes several times here and have held the Cowboys to just that one bomb touchdown. And all of a sudden, you're back in the lead because your defense has been playing well. Real nice. All right, next one, game of the day. Trying to look. Yeah, game of the day, I think by far. Maybe game of the weekend. Miami at Baltimore is in a 1 o'clock slot. And it's not only a battle for the number one seed, but also two teams trying to stay alive for their division. And can let it start to slip away here. Baltimore coming off a shellacking of the 49ers with 5 turnovers, including 4 from former MVP candidate Brock Purdy. And Miami coming off a win against the Cowboys, and I really didn't think they were going to pull it out. But credit to them, they did. And so it sets up this matchup that could be for a number one seed, but like even more so, you got to worry about a home playoff game and trying to win the division if you're either of these teams. The Browns won to go to 11-5 and keep pressure on the Baltimore Ravens, who, if they lose, still could lose next week to the Steelers. And if the Browns beat the Bengals, Browns could hop up there and be as high as the number one seed. Miami trying to, like I said, get the 2 seed to the 1 seed, but also have to worry about Buffalo lurking up behind them. And with a loss from either one of those teams, it makes week 18 real dicey. Miami, in particular, plays the Bills. So Baltimore still kind of controls its own destiny there in terms of, I guess both teams control their own destiny, but Baltimore doesn't play the Browns. And so, you got to win and watch the scoreboard. In Miami, that team is coming to your house. And it's a very real possibility that they come in there and beat you and take the AFC title away from you when you've had the lead in the division since week 5. And that would just be, I think, devastating to the psyche of those Dolphins. I really do. If that happens to the Dolphins and they go into the playoffs and do anything, I would be shocked. I really would. But it'll be interesting. That game, super important. Baltimore's defense has been great. Of course, Miami's offense, similar to San Francisco's, but no way you're getting 5 turnovers again. So they better have a good, solid plan to handle Tyreek Hill over the top. Couple players out for Miami, have been for a few weeks. Of course, Baltimore missing Mark Andrews. Everybody's beat up this time of year. But I think this game's going to go a long way in the MVP race, and I think it's going to go a long way to decide, obviously, the top of the AFC playoffs. Oh, Deuce Vaughn almost fought his way to a first down there. Third and one. Oh, as you see on third down a lot of the time, guy knifes into the backfield and just misses him, and then he picks up 12. Excellent play. Who's 55? Barnes. You're supposed to be able to leave that backside end. Nice job. Good defense. Triple covered. I'm all for taking a shot, but let's make it a better one. You know what I mean? Is that Tyler Smith? Yeah, it is. So third and 11 when we come back. Uh, an important player, no doubt. Both the Smiths on the left side of that line make one of the best left sides in football. So that Baltimore Miami game, man, I am gonna be desperate to know what's going on there. Honestly, um, in fact, I might bring my laptop uh, just to be able to watch that game in the bar. We'll see. Because my bar only has the Bills game on, which is good and terrible at the same time. All right, what's next? Tennessee, Houston, the final 1 o'clock game. Houston starting Case Keenum, I believe. Or oh no, CJ Stroud's coming back for this one. I'm changing my mind about it a little bit. Tennessee's been feisty the last couple weeks. I don't know if Will Levis is back for them or if it's going to be Tannehill again. Let's see. Well, it looks like it's going to be Levis. Yeah, when rookies. Yeah, Levis looks like he's going to play. And they've been feisty with Levis, man. He started strong, then he kind of fell off a little bit, and I was like, yeah, it was just a 1 week thing, and Um, they've been feisty otherwise. Last game between them just a couple weeks ago was 19-16, but I believe without either of these quarterbacks. So it'll be a different game, no doubt. Um, CJ Stroud trying to get this Texans team from the number 2 overall pick to into the playoffs. And I just think that's fun, man. I want to see it. I really do. I would love for them to be the 7th seed or even win the I mean, hey, win the AFC South. Go ahead. Okay, if you bring a blitz, you still have to double CD. What are you doing? Good read by Dak. Good throw. You have a blitz coming. Know where your guy is. You're going to have a one-on-one matchup. All of that. But defensively, I'm just not crazy about the call. Fine with you blitzing, but you got to have a plan for CD, man. Also, make the tackle of him for him short of the sticks. 178 yards tonight for CD. 92-yard touchdown helps that, no doubt. But almost a 100-yard day without it. So, oh, Buck was heaping all that praise on CD Lamb about how easy it would be for him to get the record, and then he drops it. Two drops in a row from Lamb when he's a yard away from setting the single season record in yardage. Little announcer jinx there. Cowboys settling for a field goal. Cool. Did Troy just throw another announcer jinx on him? 51-yard attempts, no gimme, Troy. 10-10. No announcer jinx on that one. Yeah, so just to wrap up that Houston Tennessee game, it's gonna be fun. I think I really do. If I wish it was in a slot where it was easier for me to watch, probably won't get to watch any of it because of that. But you'll have Houston taking on Indy next week, and I mean that 7th seed in the playoffs might come down to that game. I mean, plain and simple. Um, so be interesting to see how they kind of plot out their games for week 18. So many games are going to matter for those low wild card spots, those 6 and 7 spots in the wild card in both conferences that it's going to be tough to schedule them. You're going to have to put them all on Sunday in the afternoon because the West Coast teams can't start at, 10 a.m. You can't have a 10 a.m. game. So the Sunday afternoon slot is going to be packed full of games next week, and they're going to have to find games to put, in the morning and on Saturday and so on and so forth. I think they really hope that Bills Dolphins game is for the AFC East, because that is self-contained, and they can say we're going to put that game on Saturday, and you could put the Patriots Jets game before it, and there you go. You've got your Saturday taken care of. But all right, Lions. Oh, there you go. I was just gonna say, how did you do it last time? Run the ball. There's a 40-yard run, but it looks like it's coming back. So the two biggest games I think in Week 18 are going to be Cleveland, Cincinnati, and Indy and Houston. You could technically, that game is at Indy. You could technically play that in the morning because none of the AFC West teams. So you could take care of the AFC wild card in the morning slots. But who's your winning in scenario? It's not going to be the NFC South. Maybe it's the AFC South. But too many games depend on each other here. You know what I mean? Maybe they put Bills Dolphins Sunday night because it is self-contained. If it goes that way, could also be totally meaningless. That game could be completely meaningless. The Bills and the Dolphins could be locked into their respective slots and not playing anybody. That gets us to the afternoon games. Pittsburgh at Seattle for a 2:05 game. Huge game. Both teams got to win that one. Let's look at the playoffs. Let's see. Seattle, I think, is the 7 seed. Yep, Seattle in the 7 spot. Game up on everybody behind them at 8-7. Pittsburgh is the 9 seed at 8-7. And in a 1, 2, 3, 4-way tie for the 7th spot. So huge game there. Absolutely massive. So that's your only 2:05 start tomorrow. I think Kenny Pickett is back for that. I think Geno Smith is back for that. Like Pittsburgh's defense, don't love them. Like Seattle's defense, don't love them. Neither O-line is particularly dominant. Both have great wide receivers and just okay quarterbacks. And that one's going to be a tough call. It is. It is going to be a real tough call. Two teams with very identical thoughts about them. I wonder if Pickett being back is important to me. Let's see. Steelers quarterback Mason Rudolph to start versus Seahawks. Well, that might make me lean towards the Seahawks on that one. Mason Rudolph was fun for a week, but I don't think he can keep doing it. You know what I mean? All right, fourth quarter. I forgot to take my commercial break, but I got to get out of here early anyway. Like I've said, about 15 minutes. I got to get out of here. 10 up though. Heck of a game so far. Oh, he's got him. Man, and when you take a shot and hit it like that, it's not just the yardage that you get there, but it's about being able to pound the rock because they're going to have to keep their safeties back because you scared them. Bland gets torched. Wow. Not the type of run play I would run against this Cowboys defense. They aren't lacking in speed or athleticism. I'm not going to try to beat them to the corner. You've been pounding it up the middle. Not sure what happened to him. I'm trying to figure out if Williams is hurt, but he looks like he's just got a little hitch in his giddy up. Yeah, just decisiveness, anticipation on the throw. And when you start to feel it, you start to feel it. You know what I mean? 3rd and 3. I might run it twice. I know people don't love going for it. Oh, take the lead, take the point. There's a ton of time left. We need touchdowns. Follows it up with a not so great throw. Yeah, I think you go for it here. Oh, the analytics says go for it. Which analytics? We talking about win probability? I hate when they do that. Are we talking about win probability? If we're talking about win probability, like, okay, fine, but just say that. Not all there's hundreds of thousands of types of analytics. I don't like taking a field goal here. I really don't. Damn. Go Cowboys. Nails it. 13-10. And let's see how that affects our gambling lines here. So right now I'm up a touchdown because I've got Lions plus 4.5. Get Cowboys plus 1.5, but it's minus 120. I think I'm gonna sit on it. If the Cowboys punt here, I might try to middle it then. See if I can get like 2.5, something like that. Build a 7 point middle. Um, I think it probably comes down to a field goal, but who knows? Chargers, Broncos, the second, the first 225, 425 game. Um, LA looked game last week. Give credit to their interim head coach. I've told you guys on here before. I will say it again. There's always the fired coach bump. Very rarely do teams not come together and put forth a good effort after a head coach gets fired. I don't know why. Can't explain it to you, but it normally happens. Is it fear for their jobs? Is it because they know everybody's going to be held accountable? Is it the fresh voice is working? Um, so we'll see if that happens for another week. Um, it'll be interesting. I'm not sure it will. Broncos have to win to keep their playoff hopes alive and have yet, despite that, decided to bench Russell Wilson in favor of Jarrett Stidham. This whole thing is super fishy smelling. I mean, it reeks. So it's going to be interesting. I think Jared Stidham can probably run Sean Payton's offense a little bit better than Russell Wilson has been. If you just look at Wilson's numbers, you'd say, "What are you talking about? Why is he benching him?" If you have watched the games and watched Russell Wilson play, you know exactly why. Um, but the implications in doing that are crazy. Um, we're talking about dead cap numbers if they cut him, which it looks like they'll have to or will. Um, that are we never seen before. Never seen dead cap numbers like that. So it'll be interesting. Um, but same thing. Do you get a little bump here? Team coming together. How do they respond? Do they rally for Sean Payton? Do they crumble under hating their head coach? I mean, it's going to be super interesting to see what happens. So that game's interesting, if only for that reason. But it does still have some playoff implication um, for the AFC West and the wild card. 'Dak slinging it. 11 minutes to go. A lot of time. 3rd and 5, though. Big third down. Did he catch it? I got to see it. Show me. I mean, I love Brandon Cooks. I don't doubt he caught it, but Cowboys trying to hustle to the line. 1, 2. Oh, I don't know. Well, they get it off, and yeah, Prescott, broken play. Prescott's just trying to get the snap off. And he's like, oh, I'll deal with it afterwards. Yeah, the question would have been, when does he officially, because Burns swipes at it, when does he officially have possession to get the 2 feet down? But, all right, so in range to tie it up here. Nothing silly, nothing stupid, Cowboys. This is going to be my last drive, and then I'm going to have to shut it down. But we'll see if the Cowboys can tie it up here. Real quick before we go, Pollard for a first down. Cincinnati and at Kansas City. Cincinnati's got to win it to stay alive. They can. I mean, Kansas City has not looked good. But Kansas City now feeling the pressure of the people behind them just a little bit. You can hear footsteps. Like, don't screw this up. If you lose your last 2 games, you're in trouble. They are almost certainly locked into that 3 seed. They could fall to the 4. I don't think they can get up to the 2, but I'm not sure about that. And then finally, Green Bay at Minnesota. Big game for the NFC wildcard playoff implications. Not the one I would have picked to put on Sunday Night Football, but here we are. Jaron Hall starting for Minnesota, and Jordan Love, of course, starting for Green Bay. Should be entertaining at least. Might not be good football, but it'll be entertaining football. Touchdown. And the Cowboys take the lead back, and that's where we're going to have to leave you. Appreciate everybody for joining us. I know it's been a minute. Hopefully we'll be on with Sturls tomorrow. He has been sick as a dog for over a week. So hopefully we'll be on with Sturls tomorrow morning. Do a quick little pregame show before we head out of here. So hopefully we see you for that tomorrow morning. And feel free to hit me up on social media if you're listening to the end of this game, you want to talk about it. But appreciate everybody for watching, listening, and we will catch you next time.